Maftir Breshit Vayishlach. Genesis chapter 36, verses 40 through 43. Amen. Ve'ele shemot alufei sav lemishpachotam limkomotam bishmotam aluf timna aluf alva aluf yetet. And these are the names of the chiefs of Esau according to their clans, according to their places. By their names, there is Chief Timnah, Chief Alva, and Chief Yetet. And as with any other section of our Torah, this short maftir teaches us many, many important lessons. One of our most important ones is to pay attention to every moment, because here we read 4 verses of Torah of names, seemingly a mundane relatives of Esau, yet within them are deep truths that we need to pay attention at all moments. And amongst other lessons, that teaches us that there are many times those moments or words that seem to be mundane or ordinary really contain deep, profound spiritual significance, and we should always be paying attention. And we have this word aluf that appears multiple times, 11 times in the short maftir, plus 2 more times as a possessive. What does this word mean? It's a very important word, as is every word in Torah. In today's modern Hebrew, aluf is a high-ranking general, translated in this context by different translators as chief, as duke, as tribal leaders and clans. Onkelos translated as great ones or leaders. Everett Fox translated it as families. Rashi and Ibn Ezra, they understand this as something like a duke who has a small territory under the rule of a king. But let us go with the translation by Rabbi Mordechai Betcher, who sees this as a de facto king, but one who lacks the symbolism of a true king, such as a crown or a thorn. This is based on the Talmud Bavli in Sanhedrin 99 Bet that calls the Aluf of Esau a king without a crown. So that is how we're going to read this verse. But for shorthand, we will continue to use the word chief. And this word aluf, it appears in other places throughout our Tanakh. It appears in Proverbs and Jeremiah and Zechariah. But in Torah, it only appears here, verses 15 through 43, and one other place in the whole Torah, in Exodus chapter 15, verse 15. What is our cosmic significance, our connection to Moses' Song of the Sea? Why is there this mystical connection of the children of Esau with that verse? There's opportunity for further study there. Aluf Ahalivama, Aluf Ele, Aluf Pinon. There's Chief Olivama, Chief Elah, and Chief Pinon. And who is this Ohalivama? The name of Esau's second wife. She also had the name Judith or Yehudit. But why is the name Ohilavama? What does this mean? It could mean different words. It could mean that she built places for idolatry, for Bamot. On the other hand, more likely it is because her name could also mean my tent is a shrine, Oheli Bama, my tent is up high. And so who is this person? These are the people, the children, the chiefs. But here is this a woman who we have mentioned earlier in this portion as a female. Rashba in the Middle Ages and Tractate Bava Batra in the Talmud say that this is Oheli Bama was a woman chief. Wow, how progressive of them. Others, however, Ibn Ezra says was a man with the same name. And some people, such as the Sefer HaYashar, says this is a man, the grandson of Ohilavama. However, we will see her as a woman leader because it seems important that this is the context in this case. We also have someone like Radak being very forceful about it, saying this Ohilavama was a male. This is so in spite of the fact that his name ends with the letter Hey, suggesting this person mentioned was a female. My response to Radak is, methinks thou dost protest too much, Radak. Let us see this as a woman. Or perhaps we have another perspective on who is this Ohilavama. Perhaps God's holy Torah has lessons about transgender issues. Perhaps these verses have been hidden to us for centuries. And as we learned from Nachman of Bratslav and Likutei Moharan, that at every stage there is a level of Torah one can understand and practice. And then, of course, there is the higher level that is concealed through prayer and other practices. That higher level can be revealed to us, and that concealed become revealed. Perhaps as a world community where we're not ready to understand and embrace transgendered persons in Torah. Perhaps we have evolved to a higher stage of Torah understanding. We are now able to understand transgender issues revealed in our Holy Bible. Perhaps this is who this Oholivama is, teaching us about transgendered issues in the 21st century. Oholevamah is just one of the 11 names in this short portion. Our Hebrew names are very important in Tanakh. They have deep mystical meanings for us. There's clearly deeper research, prayerful research to be called for to investigate the deep meanings of the 10 other names in these short verses. And although it doesn't address transgender issues, Jed Abraham's 15-page paper on a literary solution to the names of Esau's wives is an excellent starting point, academic yet actually readable at the same time for further research into this area. Aluf Kenaz, Aluf Teman, Aluf Mibzar. And here we have the Chief Kenaz, Chief Teman, and Chief Mibzar. And again, Radak identifies 8 Alufim in these positions of leadership after the kingdom of Edom had ceased to exist. This pasuk brings us up to 9, and there are 2 more to come. Who are the 3 who are excluded? Basic math suggests that 11 minus 8 is 3, but who are the 8 who are the ones who are the real leaders, according to Radak? Unknown to me, it is one of the complex issues for further study. Aluf Magdiel, Aluf Eram, Aluf Edom, Lemishvotam, Be'eretz Achuzatam, Hu Esav Avi Edom. And Chief Magdiel and Chief Eram, these are the chiefs of Edom, according to their settlements in the land of their possession. This is Esav, father of Edom. And who are these 2 chiefs, Magdiel and Aram? According to Emmanuel Shochet, a Chabadnik, they represent the 2 exiles. That the first present exile is Galut Edom, the Edomite exile. It is the Romans who brought the present Galut with their destruction of the Holy Temple in the year 70 CE. Because they're mostly descendants of Edom, and we know this from Magdiel, which means to make oneself big and bigger than God, bigger than community, to focus on ego. And through this is how we tie the Magdiel as the father of the Edomites, the Romans who were responsible for the first exile. However, we have this second chief of Aram, and who is this? This name is an expression of destined to amass treasures, Le'oram. And how do we get to this? That this is the sign that in the future we will have Rome and those who brought about the first Galut, the first exile, they will transform themselves. They will bring great holiness. They will bring holiness to Mashiach. They will bring great holiness to the world. And this portion is tying back into the earlier sections about the transformation or power of individuals. How Jacob could live a life of sin and deception, but transform himself through the personal power and through connection with the community and connection with God into becoming someone else. That personal transformation is what we learn from this parsha. Continuing with this theme of personal transformation, seemingly misplaced, we have a reference to this verse in chapter 36, verse 43 in Torah. In Tractate Megillah, in chapter 11 of the Bavli Talmud, what does this seemingly misplaced verse have to do here? We have Rabbi Hanina, the great wise rabbi, talking about King Ahasuerus in the Esther story. And what does he say? He says that King Ahasuerus persisted in evil from beginning to end, because we see the words Hu Ahasuerus. We also see in this verse here Hu Esav. He was Esav. That is Esau. And our Rabbi Hanina takes this to mean that one persisted from evil throughout one's life from beginning to end. That he makes the comparison here with others who persisted in this evil. He contrasts this with Moses and Abraham, who Moshe, who did good from beginning to end. However, we are led to challenge Rabbi Hanina in this particular area. This parsha is not about those being good from beginning to end. It is about personal transformation. And unfortunately, the Rabbi Hanina missed the mark in this particular commentary. As Jews, we recognize that all people are subject to errors, that it is a process of 2 steps forward and 1 step back and a continuing evolution. That we learn in this chapter that it is not, as he said, that Esau was evil from beginning to end. No, we learn that weakness of character is one's human fault and foible. We remember that we are not saints. Rather, the point is that we are willing to grow along spiritual lines.